Hey everyone, Paul here from The Complete Personal Trainer. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can grow your online business. Now, a lot of people talk all the time about the different methods that you can do to grow your online business. And it's totally valid. Those methods all work really well. But what we need to know first is kind of like what type of business we want to grow when we're building an online personal training business. And a lot of people don't really think there's different types. But what I've done over the last couple of years of really looking and observing so many people in the space and coaching and working with so many people in the space is I've worked out that there's 5 different types of online coaches out there, and by identifying which one you want to be, you're probably going to get the most out of your business. So let's dive into it. Now the first one is becoming the authority, and we've got these with A's, so this makes it the 5 A's. It makes it a lot simpler to kind of remember. So the first one is the authority. Now the whole thing about the authority is that you know your shit. Okay, so you are a subject matter expert in a particular field, and this means that you have a high degree of technical expertise and you have a high degree of social proof because you're really good at what you do. Now, for that particular type of online trainer, it can be really hard doing a low ticket item for those particular clients, because, or also mid ticket too, because you know your shit so well that people will want more from you than what you're charging. So in that particular scenario, you can have a whole lot of inbound inquiries coming from your content. Granted, if you share your expertise at a high level, so things like longer form videos, podcasts, and also really informative short form can be fantastic for this. And you'll find the most success in selling high ticket volume. This is where I've found myself over the last so many years. I like this space better than most. I think it has the most personal satisfaction in my point of view for what I do. But again, that's my point of view and opinion, not a value statement that I want to put on anyone else. Now, the next type of online business you have is based on your audience. So you're basically an influencer. You have a large volume of people who follow you, who watch your stuff, and want to basically, they want to buy some stuff off you. Now, for the influencer audience-based person, you really need to focus more on lower ticket type items, because you simply, if you hit a winning offer, you will not have the time or the energy to actually serve that volume of people. So a lower ticket offer is one of the best ways that you can actually monetize that audience and get the most out of it. So I think if you're in that situation there, it's something that you should look at, doing low ticket, and how can you optimize the size of your audience to make money from it. Now the next one is the aspiration. So the aspiration is someone where people look up to. They want to be you, okay? So it's not like you may not have a huge following, you might have a decent following, but not a huge one. But basically, people, they see you, they see the life you live, and they want to be like that. It's a little bit different from the influencer because you will offer like a mid-ticket type thing, and you'll be selling a program that basically gets people to live the lifestyle that you're doing. So, for example, if you're in really good shape and you get to go out a lot and eat like a really flexible diet and have drinks and go out for meals and socialize a lot, that's been the aspiration. So in that particular scenario, you'll be selling more mid-ticket type stuff, but you may not have as long a lifetime value, because once people get to that point of achieving the aspiration, they're kind of like, all right, cool, I've got to where I want to be. So in that scenario, your content's really based around showing people exactly how you live, what you do, and they're kind of like being attracted to becoming that person. So that's the aspiration. Now, the next one is the avatar. And the avatar is someone who has directly has had the problem, okay? So for example, one of my best students, he is the avatar. He went from 180 down to 90 kilos. He lost half his body weight, and he's the avatar through and through. So he's tried to hit other niches and to train them, and he's skilled enough, he has enough knowledge, but he's not the avatar. And for a lot of people, being the avatar is one of the best things to do it. I've seen so many online coaches try and target fly in, fly out workers. The reason for that is because they have money, they have problems that are very obvious to solve. May not be obvious the solution, but they have obvious problems that they need help with, and they generally may have some time on the weeks that they're not mining or doing whatever. So we try and target them, and so many people fail, and it's because they're not the avatar. Whereas I was listening to someone speak on the weekend who was the avatar, actually had that gig, and remove themselves from it and become a coach, and their business is absolutely thriving. And the thing with being the avatar, it's really easy to sell if you sell or demonstrate more stories about yourself and how you've overcome those particular challenges. So the avatar is based on overcoming challenges. The aspiration is about something that people want to live up to. The audience is people who have like they got that influencer type thing and that low ticket, and the authority is someone who really knows their shit. There's one more left, and the last one, if you take the skills in the last one, is potentially the most powerful and can be leveraged with all of them, and that's the expert at acquisition. So one of the key things that I like to say is the stronger your offer and the better the problems you solve, the less sales skills you need. Now, that being said, if you have someone that has incredible customer or client acquisition skills and can sell ice to an Eskimo, sand to a person in the desert, blah, 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 they can build a really good online business too. They don't have to have a good offer. They don't have to have good content. They can just simply do it by sheer force of personality and will and skill set that they have. Now, the downside of that is if they lose that momentum, they lose that motivation, their business can go downhill quite quickly because they haven't got anything else to rely on. So with each of these 5 different types, there are problems with each of them, and there's also advantages with each of them. Now, you can combine a couple of them into one particular thing. So, for example, you can be the avatar and have the authority, and then work with it for have the problem as the avatar and dealt with it, and then you can actually do it for lots of people, and you can move into an authority type space. From there, you can basically, build yourself up to a new life, achieve the goals in your internal life, and move to the aspiration. And then over a period of time, by consistently doing the activities that drive a bigger audience, you can actually move to an audience-based problem. And if your sales skills build up the whole time, you can actually solve all 5 of those problems. So what I'd recommend you do with this information is basically work out which one of these appeals to you the most, and then also which one of these are you already kind of sitting in that bucket. Because if you are, you can really start avoiding the strategies that may not work as well for that particular bucket. So if someone's good at acquisition and they're just doing really well, they probably don't need to improve their sales anymore. It's not going to give any more impact to their business. They may just need to do more volume, or they can start leveraging and finding out if they want to, if they are an avatar, could they be an aspiration? Do they have an audience, or where could they be an authority, or partner with someone in that space to basically grow the business faster? So guys, what I want you to do is think about that, and then I'll share in other content and stuff like that. But think about what type of tools would work best for that, okay? Because each of them are going to have different tools for advertising and different marketing directions to really kind of focus on. And if you can do this, I guarantee building a business will be way more fun and it'll be way more effective.